Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking Derion Kendrick, the former cornerback out of Georgia. Went to the Rams in the 6th round of this draft, went at number 212 overall. A guy that I've been a fan of since Clemson. I thought he was good. Obviously, had some rough plays there in the LSU game and, wasn't a perfect corner prospect by any means, but I thought he was a lot better than a 6th round pick. So today we're going to look at his 2021 game against Kentucky and see what we can learn about his game and see how he will contribute to the Rams next year, obviously coming off a big Super Bowl championship. Secondary might be a little bit of a question mark for them, at least in terms of depth. Obviously, they have Jalen Ramsey, but cornerback depth is definitely not their biggest strength. So we'll see what he can contribute and see what he can do for him next year. Before we do, though, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it, and make sure to suggest more prospects I should feature down below, as well as let me know your thoughts on Derion Kendrick, especially Rams fans. Let me know what you think of him and your draft as a whole. But now, without any further ado, let's get into the tape. So here's our first play. This is just going to be a great example of what he can do in press coverage, and I think he's a pretty good man corner. I think he's underrated there, and just he really is sticky in coverage. And this is a tough one to defend, this quick hitch route where you think they're going vertical, but he seemed to be very ready for it. He chops his feet well and just stays with this guy through the entire cut, does not get fooled at all by this release, and just keeps his hands on him, but not too much to, force a defensive holding or a pass interference. And I really liked this rep a lot, just showing that he can be very good in press, and then he's going to get downhill and help make this tackle before the first down marker. So like this play quite a bit, and now we're going to see just a pretty solid play. He's going to have pretty good recognition here and make a solid tackle. Going to get downhill pretty fast. Not completely wrap up, but he's going to let him get a little more forward than I'd like. You want to see him stonewall, but this is a tight end, and he's going to get low, going to grab his leg and twist, and he's going to get some help there at the end by a linebacker, but still like this play, or I guess this is an edge guy, like this play quite a bit, and just seeing that he can tackle and he can play zone, at least flat zones, pretty well too. Now, here we're going to see him on a blitz. And this is just a weird one for me, as he has a great lane. You're right here. You're thinking he's coming in at full speed. He has a good shot at Levis, but he's going to hesitate and try to swat this ball and then give Levis a window to make a sidearm throw around him and complete this pass for a first down. And it makes a lot more sense from here. As you see, he's coming in at full speed and he has a pretty good shot at Levis, but he's going to stop and just kind of wait here and not go forward and then not make any contact. Again, I think if he comes in at full speed, he could definitely make contact with Levis, maybe get a sack, but at least get a quarterback hit and probably force an inaccurate throw. So this is just a weird one for me. I don't know why he chose to do that, but just kind of a weird, bad decision he made, because again, I think he had a hit, almost guaranteed. Now, here's our next one. I guess I cropped this one a little too early, but it's going to be another solid pressure. He's going to force a throwaway here, hesitating a little bit, but he's kind of covering this guy, making sure, he passes him off to Quay Walker, and then going to get there right in Levis's face and force him to lob that too far. So we know he can get downhill, but just when he makes the right decision. So I like to see that he can move downhill in a hurry and really explode to the ball. Now we're going to see him downhill again, and he's going to really limit this gain from this motion tight end. They are bringing this guy across the formation, trying to get him a designed, open look here, and Kendrick recognizes that at the throw. He's already moving downhill, moves quick, and pushes him out of bounds with the help of this guy, and they're going to limit his gain, and I think this is just an all-around pretty solid play. I like to see what he can do in, I guess not the box, but just down low, and in these early situations. A lot of corners can't tackle very well, so I was pretty happy with that one. Now here's going to be a 3rd and 6, and obviously Georgia's dominating every opponent this season pretty much, but still this is going to be, a big play. He's going to play some pretty good coverage here. He's going to kind of get beat at this break, but he's going to get back around and I think force an incompletion at the end. I don't know. The receiver could have just dropped this, so you could count this. You could say he just got beat, because he did kind of get beat at the break of the route, but I think he got his hand in there as they were kind of going down. As you can see, this guy gets a lot of separation there, but he's going to recover pretty well, and I think maybe the receiver just drops it, but at the same time, we'll give partial credit to Kendrick, so I'll let you kind of make that one how you will, but either way, I think he did a pretty solid job recovering. Now we're going to see a great example of hip fluidity, which I heard as a kind of a weakness of his. In zone coverage, he's going to pass off and just kind of turn around pretty well as he's playing, I think, this zone back here, at least playing off. And he's, going to recognize this is a kind of deep corner route as this guy comes over on this, play action fake. And Levis, if he doesn't flip very well, this guy could get right into kind of that blind spot in his hips, and he has a lot of room over there as the safety's not over either. So maybe he bit in too far initially, but I love this recovery to immediately turn around, get inside of and in front of this guy and just choke off this angle. Obviously this backside guy going to be open as well, but I thought this was a really impressive rep, and I thought this coverage was just really good to see what he can do deep in the field as well, as we know he can cover short well, but his deep coverage also definitely impressive. And now here's our last play. This is one he will get beat on, and he does look a little stiffer here as this guy's going to make a nice comeback route right at the first down marker, and you're going to see he kind of just stumbles out of this. He's playing just his leverage is not going in the direction of the route, which is just unfortunate for, that's the play call. But this guy's going to cut this on him. He's going to kind of stumble and not be able to recover. Obviously going to limit his gain, but I mean, the guy was already going out of bounds anyways. So he does get beat here, but I think his coverage in general is definitely good. And now let's wrap it up and talk about my expectations for him. So again, he went to the Rams in the 6th round, and I think for a 6th round pick, I think it was great value, because I would say he's probably a 4th round player for me. And, obviously it's after the draft now, so draft grades don't really matter, but I expect him to honestly be a contributor. If somebody goes down in that secondary, I know they brought back, I think it was Troy Hill from the Browns, I want to say, but that secondary needs depth, that cornerback room needs depth, and I think he provides, a great person to add to that. And we know that the Rams are pretty notorious for bringing in late round corners that develop pretty well. I think did they have Ambry Thomas last year, who played a lot of games and played pretty solid, who was drafted, I think, pretty similarly. I think he was pretty late in the draft from Michigan. And I think Kendrick can be a similar guy to him, can just come in, play good minutes. And we know cornerbacks really can be drafted at any time in the draft and be successful. I think Charvarius Ward was an undrafted free agent that the Chiefs swapped for, and he ended up getting a big contract from San Fran this offseason. So I definitely think Derion Kendrick could be another one of those guys. Obviously not guaranteed, but I think if you're a Rams fan, I would definitely be happy with this pick, as I think he's a good player and can do a lot of things that are just going to help out that secondary and be good for a guy who's going to play depth. I bet he can play special teams too, as he's a pretty solid athlete as well. So thank you for watching. That's going to wrap it up for today. Make sure to suggest more prospects down below as well, and let me know your thoughts on Derion Kendrick and this breakdown. But thank you for watching again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.